Today is November 13th, the year of our Lord, 2020. And I'm having fun. I'll hold for your applause. A little more. Yes, no, I'm having fun. Well, before I get to why I'm having fun, let me say this. One, this is volume 13 of the Fun Report coming out on Friday, the 13th. Something to consider. Divide both of those numbers by 8 and you get 24. Kobe Bryant. No, the second thing, and the thing I really wanted to say, I've been getting a lot of notes or messages about like Patreon's podcast player not being the deferred method of podcast listening. And there is a way to alleviate that. It is in the frequently asked questions. I've got it pinned to the page, and I'd read it out here, but it I don't know if I could make it make sense. Like, this podcast sends you an episode with your own custom RSS feed. You take that RSS feed and go into Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, whatever you use, plug that in, and you can listen to it on there. And if I'm not mistaken, like, you just have to do it one time, and it automatically, like, as I put them out, it'll come to you there. So you don't have to listen to it in the Patreon app. So, yeah, 13 on Friday the 13th. You can listen out on Patreon. Oh, yes. Yes, the reason I'm having fun. Whew. That Rockets pack, man. I had to play a Billy Preston Out of Space on the intro. Because that Rockets pack about to go up, and this got me on Saturn, man. Got me on Saturn. Pack going up higher than the clouds. And it's not, I don't even dislike the Rockets, right? I don't dislike the Rockets. It's just really funny to laugh at them. It's nothing personal. But they got an owner. That boy Tillman Furtada, he broke as hell. Like, amongst owners, they showed like relative wealth for owners, not amongst us poors. But like Steve Ballmer, Microsoft money is by far the richest. Tillman Furtada, the Rockets owner, is by far the brokest. And that's very funny to me because the only thing, the only thing that matters to him is how he's seen amongst those other billionaires, right? Like, you hit that level, yeah, you got $1 billion, but you the broke one in the room, brokey with your broke ass. So that boy's poor. Morey, who I don't even like or dislike, I just think it's very funny how he just locked Houston into his style of play, and they're out 2 future picks and 2 pick swaps for a team that barely made it out of the first round. And he was like, boy, you hate to see it. His flight was boring for Philly. I think that's very funny. I think it's very funny how at first, like, it feels like 100 years ago, when Dwight left the Lakers, when Dwight was going to the Lakers, he was still like big deal. It was peak of his powers, Dwight Howard. We didn't know what the back injury was going to do to him, but he was still all-star caliber. So he left and went to Houston. And it was like, oh wow, Harden and Dwight. I feel like they had a magazine cover or something along them lines, and that didn't work. Then it was Chris Paul, and that didn't work. Melo was there for a minute. That didn't work. Russ is there. That ain't work. Like, Russ is there, don't want to be there. And if I'm Russ, I got to feel like I'm not going to be left here. You know what I'm saying? Y'all playing musical chairs. I'm not going to be the one left here with nothing else. Now, you could do a lot worse. He's making like $40 million in Houston. Do a whole lot worse, but it's always, though, like, the constant was Morey and Harden, and now Morey's gone. And again, I don't dislike James Harden. He is talented as hell, but boy, like, it just seemed like he folded his cards quick. You know what I'm saying? Like, when the going gets tough, like that motherfucker gets going. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's just like, nope, I missed my exit. It's like he's more talented than like a Jamal Murray, Dame Lillard, Jimmy Butler. I think he's more like skilled than those guys. But when it's not going his way, it feels like it goes south for him fast, man. Real fast. And we did this a while ago on Twitch. I can't even remember if I mentioned it here or not. But like just the guys, if you're healthy, if you got to win one playoff series next season, how many guys you get to before Harden? Because for like a guy that is just racking up first teams, it's kind of a lot. Like my list personally, this is just me: LeBron, KD, AD, Steph, Kawhi, Luka, Jokic, Giannis, Butler, Dame, Harden. I Harden number 11, and that don't include like it's some close call like Embiid, Kyrie, Jason Tatum, again Murray that I didn't list, and it's like boy oh boy if I don't want to say front running because like if they're front running, he's the reason they front running, right? Like he's only good when they're up 20 points. Well, he has 38 points and 19 assists. He's the reason they're up 20 points. But I don't know. However, Jeff Van Gundy, if we're talking trade value, you could get quite a bit for him, man. And there are some teams I feel like you got to call, try to make the offer, man. Try to sell Houston on starting over. Like I went through the teams, and like Atlanta should put everything on the table. Like they're Trae Young included, because if you get a chip, like listen, just do what you did there. Here we have strip clubs too, Daddy. We don't have any Warriors out here, man. Come make it to the conference finals, or at least the second round every year. So if I could get a commitment from Harden to stay, I would trade Trae Young, and it would hurt my feelings to do it because they're probably 10 years of age. But over the 10 years, I might still trust Harden to play in more games than Trae. Like, knock on wood, Harden just a tank, man, and he's just automatic offense to itself. Trae's not there yet. Boston should be calling about James Harden. My goal, if I'm them, would be Tatum, Harden, Brown, and Smart together. Anything outside that you can have, which is not a whole lot. Chicago should have everything on the table. Dallas should have anything on the table. And I say but Porzingis, not because he's just that level of talent, but a big like Porzingis and two ball handlers like that, and Harden and Doncic, that's a couple of shooters. That's scary hours. So Dallas, Clippers, if they put Paul George on the table, is interesting. I don't know how close Kawhi and PG really are. You know what I'm saying? Miami, like if we get word that Giannis re-signs or does not want to go to Miami for some reason, I would say everything but Bam. I would not give up Bam for Harden. New Orleans, again, they should be looking at how to put together like a Zion, Harden, Ingram, Lonzo fit. And anything else is up for grabs. The Knicks should have everything up for grabs. Philly's interesting because Simmons is a good trade piece, and Harden and Embiid 1-2 is dangerous. Like you consider he can't run it now because Ben Simmons doesn't shoot threes. You run it now with somebody who will step back and shoot a three like that. What? So Philly's interesting. I think Washington's interesting too. Like Beal and some stuff. If he just wants to, like, if you're just trying to get in the conversation, like we'll get him here and figure it out later. And those are the teams I think he maybe would stay. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not staying in Sacramento. He's not staying in Indiana. But boy, oh boy. And we'll talk some couple Rockets questions. We'll be talking them throughout the show. But it might be time to see what you can get for everybody, man. Like they got PJ Tucker's on 1 year, $8 million contract. I think you can get a pick for PJ Tucker if somebody's willing to keep him and extend him. Covington's getting paid 2 for 25. That's a steal. Daniel House, for whatever happened in the bubble, is on a contract that pays him like $3 million a year. Like he makes literal pennies on the dollar. So if you can recoup some of them picks from the Russ deal, trade Harden for the best blue chipper you got. Like, could you get Denver to throw in Jamal Murray? Or is he off limits now? Like, could you get Ingram from New Orleans if they said, Ingram or nothing? Could you get Ingram? Trey? I think you could get Trey. But just interesting. But the pack is up. It'll be lit off and on through the rest of the show. Random thought alert. Y'all ever play this game? And the game is one I created. That's why I don't know if anybody's played it. It's called Racism or Incompetence. Like if something happened to you, it's like, did that happen to me because racism or because incompetence? You know what I'm saying? And the first thing that made me think of it, I remember when I used to fly into New York, they would have somebody check, like as you're leaving the baggage claim, check your ticket to make sure the bag you have is the bag your ticket says you should have. And I don't think that had never happened to me. And in New York, it kept happening. And I was looking around, and I was like, they not asking no other black people. So I was asking people at work. I feel like I asked, I don't know, big cat people, like somebody that would fly a lot. Like, do they ever do that when you come into LaGuardia or Kennedy? Like, nah, never. I was like, I can't get up to the damn belt before they're like, sir, let me see your tag. I'm like, I ain't even got my bag yet. Or like you go in a restaurant, go in a business and just don't get served, they just don't pay you no mind. It's like, is that racism or is that just bad customer service? Is that incompetence? I don't know, but random thought alert. You know how I'm getting old? Alert. I had another, not even epiphany. I just realized I'm old now. I don't like rap beef anymore. I don't like it. I don't like it much. And I say that on the heels of King Von was a Chicago artist who was shot and killed this week here in Atlanta. Is how I knew of King Von. I wasn't familiar with his music, but I heard it was it was a shooting outside Club Monaco, and I was like, Club Monaco. I knew he was from Chicago. I was like, there's a Club Monaco here, and yeah, as it would figure, it was the very same. And so there's like video of him and Quando Rondo, a rapper from here, I think he from here, like fighting in the street. He gets shot. And then later on, this is where the wheels came off the track for me. Somebody was on like Instagram Live in the morgue with like King Von's dead body. I'm looking. Yeah, he was 26. Man, he was 26 years old. And I said, like I was just reading like a thread about it, like watching the video, because I was like, what's going on? What's the beef? One, I was like, damn, y'all at the club during a pandemic. And two, damn, y'all fighting at a club during a pandemic. And yeah, shot him, killed him, and had this man on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? I think it was yesterday. It was a cat. I've seen I don't know if it's Mo3 or Mo. It's like MO number 3. He got shot dead in Dallas, man, 28 years old. And apparently he was in his car. Somebody pulled up to him, got out of their car with a weapon. So he got out of his car and ran. and he got killed. And it's like something don't smell right. Like if I'm already in the car, I'm not gonna get out the car. Like even if it's trapped, like I don't know. But yeah, somebody driving by, they had that man on Instagram, and I just thought, I don't know. I guess I hoped that we got to a point after Jeezy and Gucci buried the hatchet. I really, maybe that's just me being naive. I really thought like any beef could be squashed, like relatively squashed. You know what I'm saying? Relatively squashed. And I admittedly don't know the whole story with Von and Quando Rondo and MO3 and whatever, but I feel like it can't be more serious than what happened with Jeezy and Gucci. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe equal, but not more serious than Jeezy and Gucci. And like if you're not familiar, Jeezy and Gucci had beef. Gucci was at a young lady's house, and allegedly she opened up the door and sent like 4 or 5 cats in that Jeezy had sent to get Gucci's chain. Gucci responded in self-defense, killed one of the guys, and his body was left outside a elementary school. So there was that. And even now, like Jeezy, they doing the verses. Jeezy trying to be friends with Gucci. It's like I want to do a verse Gucci, and it's like Jeezy, you're not getting this, man. You know what I'm saying? You tried to have. I don't know if you tried to have him kill, but he think you tried to have him kill. Like this is as squashed as the beef is gonna get. Like you know what I'm saying? And that's a credit to Gucci. Gucci was just like, you know what? You know what I'm saying? I got too much going right now, but I ain't finna do no verses with him. No sir. No sir. So it's like whatever going with King Von and MO3, it feels like it couldn't have been worse than that, right? And now these guys like just gone forever. You know what I'm saying? Like as artists, as men, as whatever, brothers, fathers, sons, nephews, like whatever. Everything they was doing, was ever gonna do is gone. You know what I'm saying? And it just feels like I don't know, either I would hope 10 minutes of sitting down talking or like $10,000 would probably be able to solve 95% of beefs. Like legit, if it's over money, one of those things. And if it can be solved in 10 minutes or $100,000 or $10,000, excuse me, it's wild. Somebody got to lose their life, man, and then be on damn Instagram in the morgue. I think that's what shocked me the most. Like I watched the club video. I'm just reading the thread of like, here's what went down between them, and it's him in the morgue. And I say that knowing that people hearing this will look it up. I would not advise anybody to look it up, but it's that's what death looked like. I say that, like autopsy, chest cut up, bullet wound. That's what that looked like. 26 years old, and it's like what was we arguing over that it couldn't have been resolved before it came to that, man? And that's that's the old in me, because before, now Biggie and Pac got killed. Listen, I was like 7. They were like 25. I was like, they done did plenty of living. 25, plenty old when I'm 7. And now I'm like, they were 25? They were 25? So that part's not as much fun. And the rest of the show won't be like that. But there was something on my chest. So, as you know, after assessing Sheesh, we do mostly questions, mixing it up a little bit today. It'll be mostly questions, but a couple deep dives. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed Session Sheesh last week with Bills. He's a wild boy, the wildest boy. But I do hope you enjoyed that. This week, first question comes from Hurricane. And Hurricane sent me a tweet, or as a thread tweet of Bomani Jones, and said, "Get him up off you, Withers." And the thread is 3. Okay, Bomani Jones said, I really might be the biggest Randy Moss fan on earth. I helped produce a 30 for 30 on him. I can't believe how many people push back on Jerry Rice as the best receiver ever. It isn't that many resisting the idea, but it's still way more than makes sense. In 1986, Jerry Rice caught 15 touchdowns. That was his second year. That led the NFL. Joe Montana played 8 games that year. Someone named Jeff Kemp led the TD in touchdown passes. 21 touchdown passes between 3 guys. Keep that in mind. Not sure how we came up with the idea that Moss didn't play with good quarterbacks. Before the injury, Culpepper was a beast. It's also Tom Brady, a decent version of Jeff George, and the last great Randall season. So, this is the why I just don't accept it. Jerry Rice. Well, it's also, there's greatest and best wide receiver. When I think greatest, I think about accomplishments, right? Like, I don't know if that makes sense, but that when I think great, I think of accomplished. He's by far the most accomplished. So if you're like that, the individual accolades, team accolades, awards, whatever, if that's greatest, sure. But I think of things in terms of, if I had my pick, who would I take? Who would I take? And my thing with Jerry Rice, one, he's corny. Two, it's so wild because anytime I talk to Jerry Rice, the first thing they always bring up is what he did at 40 years old. And I don't, like, cool, but I don't know. That just doesn't register for me. Like, if we're talking about why somebody's the greatest, like, that's like saying, like, man, what do you, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar averaged 12 points a game is 20 a season. Oh, okay, that's why he's the greatest? That's your first argument? Two, why is he the only GOAT that can't sit his ass down somewhere, man? Why? Three, he played with 3 separate MVP quarterbacks. And we'll get into that. And that's fully acknowledging he helped them, they helped him. It was two-sided, but let's not overlook that. 3 separate MVP quarterbacks. And maybe the best coach of his era. One of, like, if you polled people, one of the better football minds of all time, Bill Walsh, pioneered the West Coast offense. That was his coach. He openly admitted to cheating. Like, I don't hold none of the other stuff against him. Openly admitted to cheating. I mean, I think it's disgusting. And the stats are impressive. Like, he's first in yards, catches, touchdowns, all that by a lot. But it feels weird to go stats here, right? Like, Drew Brees got passing yards and touchdowns record. I know he just passed Brady or got it, whatever. Ain't nobody calling Drew Brees the best quarterback of all time. It's not even close. You know what I'm saying? He's not even in the top 3, 5. You know what I'm saying? Emmett got the most rushing yards. Ain't nobody saying Emmett's the best running back of all time. That's not wearing a Cowboys jersey, denim jean shorts, and 13s, Flint 13s with a fade. Kareem his stats trump anybody. We just had to listen to him go on forever. Was it Jordan or LeBron? So I don't know, like Hank Aaron. Hank Aaron got the most home runs of all time. He's not the best. He's not the GOAT baseball player. He's up there. He's up there. And that's how I feel about Rice. You know what I'm saying? And the durability, it is commendable. But I really don't care what you did at 40. That's just me. And like, unless that was when I'm a peak prime guy. So if that's when your peak and prime was, but nah, I'm good. I'm good off that. So this is the deep dive of the quarterbacks that each of them played with, because it's one of those things like, okay, yeah, point acknowledged. I don't think it's acknowledged how big the gap was. So I did a little research. Okay. I did a little research. So I was looking at the quarterbacks that started the majority of the season, to be fair to both of them, right? Like, as some spot starters in there for each. Like, that's just what happens when you play wide receiver in the NFL. But for the most part, like, who played the majority of the games? Before Jerry Rice was drafted, Joe Montana made 3 All-Pro teams. and it just came off a 15-1 season where he won the Super Bowl. Before Randy Moss, Randall Cunningham had been injured. He lost his job. He retired. And his quarterback rating, like over the past, what did I look, 3-4 years before that, his quarterback rating was 74. He had 30 touchdowns to 27 picks, 13-12 record. Like as mid can be. So that's why it's like saying he got Cunningham. Man, listen, he wasn't Cunningham no more till Moss made him Cunningham, with all due respect. And the first year with Moss, Cunningham had 34 touchdowns. Boy, somebody getting a car, Jack. Thank you. His first year with Moss, after all that, he had 34 touchdowns and 10 picks. 106 quarterback rating. 13-1 at 14 starts. So again, this was literally a guy that like retired, just came back, was not playing well, and just turns in the best season of his career. The second quarterback Jerry Rice had was Steve Young. He won 2 MVPs. And again, Rice contributed a lot in that. I'm like not taking that out or overlooking that at all. But 1997, Jerry Rice got hurt. If you remember, that was the year Jerry Rice, week 1, he tore his ACL and MCL. And that was when I fake remember that. Like, oh man, he got like week 1. I always hate when people get hurt week 1. That just, I'll be so sick. You do training camp, you get in shape, all that week 1, ACL, MCL. But he came back 14 weeks later after a torn ACL and MCL against medical advice, which it's wild. 20 years ago with that technology, he tried to come back in 3 months on a torn ACL and MCL. His first game back, he immediately cracked his patella. Immediately. I remember that too. That year without Rice, they went 13-3. They got the number 1 seed. They lost in the conference championship to the Packers. Steve Young made All-Pro that year. He led the league in passer rating. He led the league in completion percentage. He led the league in yards per attempt. So he wasn't, just checking down without Rice there. Randy Moss' second quarterback was Jeff George. 1998 was the 15-1 year of Moss's rookie year. The next year, 36-year-old Randall Cunningham got benched after going 2-4 in the first 6 games. Enter Jeff George. And the thread that Hurricane sent, it said he got a decent version of Jeff George. Again, why was he a decent version of Jeff George? Because Moss. Like, come on, man. This was Jeff George. This was his 3rd team in 3 years. In the previous 3 years, he had started 26 games. He'd won 7 of them. 36 touchdowns to 17 picks over the previous 3 years. He takes over for Cunningham. Vikings go 8-2. Team makes the playoffs. Jeff George has a career high in yards per attempt and touchdown percentage. And Jeff George, he played like a lot of years, a lot more years than I remembered, and those were career highs for him. Next year, he signed 4 years, $15 million deal in Washington. He played 7 games after that, over 2 years, and was out of the league. Right? So any decent version you getting, why is he the decent version? The third quarterback Jerry Rice played with. It's 1999. Team's coming off a 12-4 year. They're looking to rebound. They didn't win the Super Bowl. Steve Young gets hurt 3 games in. Okay. Enter Jeff Garcia. Rookie Jeff Garcia. He was killing it in the CFL. I think it was either CFL or NFL Europe, one of those. I think CFL. In comes Jeff Garcia, who was I think like 28, 29-year-old, but he was a rookie. Rookie to the NFL, so a rookie. He started 10 games. They went 2-8, 11 touchdowns to 11 picks, quarterback rating of 78, like as mid can be. And it was a lost season. They finished 4-12. Rice finished with like 800 receiving yards. He played 16 games, but finished with 800 yards. Like, it happens. Next year, Garcia comes back throws for 4,300 yards with 31 touchdowns to 10 picks. He makes his first Pro Bowl. So, like, Jeff Garcia had one bad year, and they figured it out. T.O. broke out that year. The team went 6-10, so it wasn't team success yet. But he went on to make, I think, 4 Pro Bowls. Rice played all 16 games. He had another 800-yard season. So I don't know about that one. And so T.O.'s breaking out. This is when Rice decides to leave. He goes to Oakland. The first year he left Oakland, this isn't relevant to the quarterbacks. It's just funny. First year he left Oakland. They were 6-10 last year. First year he leaves, they went 12-4. They had their third best scoring offense in the league. Garcia made another Pro Bowl. T.O. went crazy as soon as Jerry Rice left. That's just funny. But, okay, that was the third quarterback he had. The third quarterback that Randy Moss had was Dante Culpepper, who was a beast. Right? He was the 11th pick in the draft, but that year, the Cunningham, Jeff George year, he just sat that year. That used to be a thing. That's wild that was a thing. You would just sit a quarterback his entire rookie year, and now it's like you have to play him even if he stinks because he's cheap. That's how it goes. But Dante Culpepper was number 3. So he was there for the next 5 years. Over that time, he made 3 Pro Bowls. He made a first-team All-Pro. He made a second-team All-Pro. He led the league in yards, and he led the league in touchdowns, and those are 2 different seasons. He was a beast. 73 games with Moss, career quarterback rate, and this is like not only throwing to Moss, but just like an average season of the seasons he was with Moss. Quarterback rating of 93, 28 touchdowns to 16 picks, completed 65% of his passes, and was a threat to run too. Boy, he would cook today. Oh, man. But his last year in Minnesota, he tore up his knee. That 5th year of the rookie deal, he tore up his knee. So he got traded to Miami for the 2nd-round pick. If you remember, they picked him over Drew Brees. So, admittedly, he was coming off a bad injury. I think it was ACL, MCL. Jerry Rice tried to come back after like a long weekend. But he came back, was healthy enough to be cleared to be traded for a 2nd round. Like a 2nd-round pick ain't nothing. That was Nick Saban giving up that 2nd-round pick. He was healthy enough to be. It's like, well, we're taking him over Breeze. So the 31 games he played without Moss, his quarterback rating was 72, 21 points lower. Completed 59% of his passes, 6% less than with Moss. 10 touchdowns to 17 picks, a ratio over a season. It was 28-16 before. So it's like interesting. The interceptions are still there, but the touchdowns and completion percentage aren't. I wonder why that is. And it's not knocking Culper. He got hurt like at literally the worst time, like Dak really. And after that, he just wasn't the same. So some of it was injury for sure. I'm willing to concede. I mean, not even concede. That's just the game. But he clearly wasn't the same guy without Moss. The 4th quarterback that Jerry Rice played with was Rich Gannon. Okay, so 2 years. We're going back 2 years before Rice got to Oakland. Gannon made Pro Bowls both of those years. Both of those years. And again, Pro Bowl is clearly not the end-all, be-all. But I do think back then, I think it was less of a popularity contest than it became. So, he made 2 of them straight. Average season, 3,600 yards, 26 touchdowns, 12 picks, 60% completion percentage. He did that for 2 years. They went 8-8 and then 12-4. This is without Rice. So Rice shows up, and this is where the Rice fans kick in, because he had 1,100 yard season at age 39 and a 1,200 yard season at age 40. Great, sick. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a hell of a feat. So while Rice is there, Gannon makes 2 more Pro Bowls, of course. He wins MVP the 2nd year. So I'll give Rice kudos here. He knew exactly when to jump ship. He's like, T.O.'s better than me. That Gannon guy is looking all right. Like I still got something left in the tank. So it's talked about like Rich Gannon, like he was just a bum before Rice came in. No, he wasn't. Now Rice clearly jumped him that next level. But again, he had like a couple of Pro Bowls without him. So he elevated his play for sure, and that's what I'm saying Moss does to literally everybody. And they have much less talent to elevate. So that was the fourth quarterback Jerry Rice played with. The fourth quarterback that Randy Moss played with was Kerry Collins. This is when Moss was traded to Oakland. Okay, so the team was 5-11 the year before him. They traded for him. The fourth quarterback he plays with is Kerry Collins. Let's look at Kerry Collins 2 years before Moss. 26 starts. He won 7 of them. 3,300 yards per season and 34 touchdowns to 36 picks. A gunslinger. First year with Moss, he threw for 3,800 yards, 20 touchdowns to 12 picks, and went to Tennessee. He started 3 games that next year. Lost all 3 of them, and his quarterback rating was 42. That was the fourth quarterback he ever played with. I think it was 2 seasons later, he had the season where the Titans were good. And if you go back and look, dude, that was Kerry Collins' good year, and he was not good. Kerry Collins was just not a good quarterback. But that was the fourth quarterback that Moss played with. The fifth quarterback that Jerry Rice had was Matt Hasselbeck. This is after he left Oakland. He went to Seattle, and I remember him in Seattle. He played more games there than I thought. I was thinking it was a couple games, but Matt Hasselbeck was coming off of a Pro Bowl year. 3,800 yards, 26 touchdowns. Rice got there. He didn't make the Pro Bowl. Rice leaves. He makes the Pro Bowl again. So I ain't saying he's bad news, but I don't know. That's the fifth quarterback he had. The fifth quarterback Randy Moss had, and this was, I mentioned both these guys because they were perfectly split. They both played 8 games, Moss's second year in Oakland. And Andrew Walter and Aaron Brooks. Those were the quarterbacks he had. So I'm just combining them into one Andrew Brooks, into one quarterback. Combined, they passed for 2,700 yards, 6 touchdowns, and 21 picks. 6 touchdowns, 21 picks. Aaron Brooks never played again after that. Andrew Walter threw 57 more career passes, never played again after that. Okay, so do you sense the theme here? You sense the theme here? Because I haven't even gotten to Tom Brady yet. The first year Rice gets Tom Brady, first year Moss gets Tom Brady, he breaks Rice's touchdown record. They went 16-0. You know what I'm saying? And those 5 quarterbacks for Jerry Rice, that was his entire career. That took him from 85 to 2004. His rookie year was Montana. His last year was Hasselbeck. And, some of that's, good luck, good fortune, and whatever. But Moss's 5 quarterbacks took him to 2006. He's not even 30 yet. And he's had 5 quarterbacks, as the main guy. It was Montana to Young, to Garcia, to Gannon, to Hasselbeck was what Rice had. Moss had Cunningham to George, to Culpepper, to Collins, to Andrew Walters / Aaron Brooks. And again, you check out what those guys did with and without Moss. And I'll say, Cunningham aside, when Cunningham won MVP, not even kidding, I think Randy Moss was still in elementary school, right? So that feels like it shouldn't register. It was that long ago. And Moss shows up and he's immediately MVP candidate. So the 2 years that Moss gets killed for in Oakland, this is what's brought up against Randy Moss. Those 2 years combined, 102 catches, 1,558 yards, 11 touchdowns. Jerry Rice, the 2 years adjusting to life without a Hall of Fame quarterback, 142 catches, 1,635 yards, 12 touchdowns. But those aren't held against Rice. And he had Jeff Garcia. Like, man, you know what Moss would have did with Jeff Garcia? Even bad Jeff Garcia. So, like, he made Pro Bowls right after that. When he went to Oakland and had those 39 and 40 years, 39 and 40-year-old seasons, he played all 16. You know what I'm saying? He played all 16 the games where something went on and he caught 800 yards a season. But he don't get killed for quitting on a couple seasons. He gets I gave it my all every single route. That year too, both of them. Okay. The man said he gave it his all. But from Randy Moss's sophomore season, his second year in the league, to the year before he was traded to Oakland, Minnesota was a bottom 10 team in defense every single year. Every single year. In 4 of those years, they were in the bottom 5. That takes you from 99 to 05. And that's, like, again, the defense, not Moss's fault, but also not anything he can do about it. Rice, from 85 to 1998, the 49ers had a worse than league average defense one time. One time. They fell off in 99 and 2000. Those were Rice's last 2 years there. But 10 times they were a top 5 scoring defense. Right? And I know scoring defense is not the greatest measure, but over a 16 season sample size, you know what I'm saying? It's fair to say he had a good team around him. And I'm not as much holding it against Rice as I just don't think it's factored in enough, the talent disparity in quarterbacks, before he got 3 years with Tom Brady. We just covered Jerry Rice's 20-year career. He had Montana Young, all those guys. He had Pro Bowl play for well over a decade. Moss got Brady for 3 years. And the thing with Rice, he calls himself the GOAT, and he will not let people forget it. But deep down, he knows. He knows. He was a great receiver. The most accomplished of all time, certainly. But if you drop Randy Moss onto a team that just went 15-1 in 1985 in San Francisco, there are no more record books. If you drop a 21-year-old Terrell Owens, Megatron, Hopkins, Julio, you know what I'm saying? Drop any of those guys. It's, you know what I'm saying? He capitalized on it. Rice capitalized on it. So, again, salute to him. But if I'm given my choice of one, and that's how I look at these, I go Moss. I don't even want to say his name. Was bad guy Karl Malone, like, was he better than, like, Kevin Garnett? Or did he just have John Stockton? Right? Like, if those guys as an individual talent, give me Garnett. And the 49ers 15-1 the year before they got him, won the Super Bowl. And they never went 15-1 again. So someone could argue he made them worse. Like Marvin Harrison, another name. He and Reggie Wayne, I feel like they get knocked for playing with Peyton. But Rice doesn't get knocked for who he played with. And he cheated. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, we can all agree. It's like, okay, if Barry Sanders had Emmitt Smith's line, he would rush for 20,000 yards. But that's where it's like it feels insane to them. It's like somebody could approach Rice's numbers with similar setup. Now, are they going to play? I think he's played in also the most games ever, which, again, availability is the best ability for sure. But I'm more peak and prime over, like, the longevity of your career. So he capitalized on that. He was durable, dependable. He's great. But if I could pick any wide receiver, I would take Randy Moss. And then I think I'd take Terrell Owens. And then I think I'd take Calvin Johnson. Rice he's in the mix after that. Next question. Tyler, what are your thoughts on Kendrick? I can't recall you ever mentioning his music, but he seems like an artist you would support. Rough background, funky style, gives back to his community. I like Kendrick Lamar. Like, I love Section 80. I think that was the first project I heard of his. And then I went back and listened to OD, Overly Dedicated. And I really liked the Dash Snow intro. And so I was pretty much in. Like, I really liked Good Kid, Mad City. I like To Pimp a Butterfly. I don't think I liked it as it feels like other people did. Like, the highs of that are really high. Like, All Right, Mama, a couple other ones. But it's not my favorite project by him. That's probably still Section 80. But I didn't like Damn at all. Like, the only song I kept from that was DNA. So I just wasn't feeling that one. Just about any of it. But the project that I go back to the most, and I guess this is probably my favorite, is Untitled Unmastered. And it's like, I think he makes his music to be like it's a piece. It's to be consumed in order at one time. Like, it's sequenced that way intentionally. Like the intros, the outros, the interludes, the random verses, the jazz and shit, all that is meant to be played in order. And I listen to my stuff on shuffle for the most part. Just everything on my whole music library just shuffled. And I think a lot of his stuff, it sounds better in context of the album, not as much in shuffle. So I go back to like Section 80, Good Kid, Mad City, and some of To Pimp a Butterfly. But the reason I like Untitled Unmastered so much, I think it works because there is no flow. Like, these are the Lucy tracks, the ones that couldn't fit within the other album. So it's just like, it's a good song. It just doesn't fit within the flow he wants to create. And that's kind of why it's my favorite. I can just throw it on and it feels like shuffle. And I enjoy it. But yeah, I feel like I've been accused. It's not to say that the person that asked this is accusing me of that. I feel like I've been accused of not liking Kendrick a lot. And I was trying to think, I don't know what I've said about him. I said he got washed on a couple of features. Like, he did get washed on Goosebumps, right? And sometimes I don't like when he does that voice. You know what I'm saying? And you know what voice I'm talking about if you listen to Kendrick too. I think he's got maybe like the worst rap voice since Cannabis, man. For like a really great Hall of Fame rapper like Cannabis, since Cannabis. But I remember I saw Kendrick on my birthday at is it Emory or Georgia? I don't know. It was Atlanta. That was a long time ago. It was before Good Kid, Mad City. I think Section 80 was out. But yeah, I like Kendrick. I say that to say this. I like Kendrick Lamar. Next question. It was a link to a tweet posed on Twitter. I will read that tweet at this time. From @TillThickle. The fate of the planet is on the line. You're humanity's last hope. Which one of these are you picking? All at the professional level with average pitching / defense. Okay, the three options are get a base hit. Okay, get a base hit at the major league level against average pitching and defense. Hit a 3 from the wing in the NBA, average defense, or score a touchdown from the 5-yard line. I think there's one answer here. It's hit a 3. The only one you're going to have a choice, like a chance at maybe getting, is hitting a 3. Like, you're not getting a base hit, man. I looked up I wanted to find who was the most like average pitcher. Mike Minor this year was a 0.0 WAR. 0.0. He was 1-6, 5.56 ERA during this year. Last year, the year before, he made the All-Star team, right? So, boy, the game shift quick on it. He started 11 games this year, but one of them was a complete game shutout. And this is the most average pitcher, like 0.0. He didn't provide nothing to his team. He didn't take nothing away. You're not getting a hit off him. You're not scoring from the 5-yard line. Like, who the worst defense in the NFL? Like the Jaguars? Miles Jack is like 250 around a 4 or 5. If you start at the 5, Josh Allen would catch you at the 4.85 yard line. Like you're not running them 5 yards. You stand on the field and look and realize it's like, oh wow, 5 yards, wow, 15 feet. He jumped from there, wow. So the only option, yeah, that was for the worst defense. I don't even know who the average defense is because it don't matter. You're not scoring from the 5 or the 1 for that matter. Making a 3 from the wing is your only hope. Like NBA average defense, I looked them up. The Grizzlies are 15th, like smack dab in the middle. And the only chance you have here is that you're not going to be the focus, right? Like base hit, touchdown, the focus is you. Their entire, like, sole focus is to stop you. Here it won't be. You're not going to be guarded at all, probably. So if you just rise and fire, get your best shot off, it won't go in. And humanity will be doomed. Thank you, Till Fickle. Next question. It's almost Thanksgiving. What are the top non-traditional foods to bring to a Thanksgiving meal? Man, I tried to get in on this earlier. Last 2 years. I think 2 years ago, maybe it was last year, I was like, I might bring a pizza to Thanksgiving because it's just kind of that you would see it at first and it's like, a pizza? Why would you bring a pizza to Thanksgiving? But there's going to be a time where everybody's chilling. They had their first and second plate, so I could eat a little something, but I'm kind of turkeyed and dressing out. How about a slice of pizza? So that was for 2 years ago. Last year, my idea was Popeye sandwiches. Like not even the whole, like you could cut them up in like fourths because that's a big sandwich. And it's a finger food, just a little Popeye sandwich. It's a treat. This year, I'm going potato rounds, man. If you've been to Bojangles, the potato rounds are so good, dog. I'm just ready to show y'all what life can be like if you're ready to leave French fries behind, man. Then or Bo-Berry biscuit, just Bojangles in no. But no, the potato rounds, man. They're like it's their version of hash browns, but they cut them real thick, the round kind of breakfast hash browns like I like. They put a touch of onion in them, not too much, and they season just right, man. Just right. Just bring people. Just snack. Just go up and get them. Get you a couple potato rounds. Uncle Ramon, whatever your uncle's name is. So, yeah, I'm showing up with the potato rounds. Next question. Oh, yeah, also, they're not going to, it's one of those, what happens if they get cold? I don't know what it is, man. Hash browns be retaining heat. And also, when you eat one of them potato rounds, it ain't going to be nothing left. Next question. Hypothetical for the fun report. Make a starting 5, choosing one player from each draft through 2014 through 2018. From the 2014 through 2018 drafts. For example, Luka in 2018, he was in the 2018 draft. Devin Booker was in the 2015. Ingram 2016. Tatum 2017. And Embiid 2014. Got you. My team is 2014. Give me Jokic. 2015. Give me Cat. No, I wanted to go all bigs, just all Kentucky bigs. 2015. Give me Booker. So I got Jokic and Booker so far. 2016. Give me Siakam. Give me Pascal Siakam. 2017, give me Jason Tatum. In 2018, I think you got to go Luka. So my team is Luka at the 1, Devin Booker, Jason Tatum, Pascal Siakam, Jokic. Between Luka and Doncic, I got probably the 2 of the 3 best passes in the league. I think LeBron, Chris Paul, maybe 2 of the top 5, we'll say. The ball is going to be moving around. I got Booker and Tatum. They can get a bucket on anybody at any time. Devin Booker can get 70 on them sometimes. And Siakam, like I think we saw his ideal role like last year on the championship team, or 2 years ago now. Like fill in the blanks. I think he was maybe second or third leading scorer, but he got to do a little bit of everything because Kawhi got to do the heavy lifting. This year he was like leading scorer. I don't think that's how he's best utilized. So I know he can hustle and fill in the blanks and contribute without the ball, and that's what I need here. So I got my passing, shooting, spacing galore. I know we're a little skimp defensively, but I do think Tatum and Siakam are pluses. And between Jokic, Booker, and Luka, I don't think they're bad enough to just be like attacked or played off the court. Right? Like Jokic he keep getting further and further in the playoffs. Nobody can play him off the court. And when they lose, it ain't because, you know what I'm saying? Oh, he just can't stop anybody. So that's my team. Jokic, Booker, Siakam, Tatum, and Luka. Next question. What was your favorite pre-pandemic activity, and how have you filled that void now that you can no longer do that activity? I really liked traveling. I think that's what I missed the most. I miss traveling because there are places I want to go, and this year I finally got my passport, and now the Rona. So passport's good for 5 years. I punted that first one. Punted probably the first 3 if I'm being completely honest with myself, unless they give some kind of extension. So yeah, it's definitely traveling. And I haven't really filled the void. I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't really, not with anything healthy or productive. You know what I'm saying? Eating more and drinking more. You know what I'm saying? Nothing productive. So yeah, I wish I had a better answer for you. Next question. Will we ever see Trilly play a non-sports game on Twitch? I don't know. I may. Wally was on session. She told me about Genshin Impact. I've watched him stream that a couple times. It looks alright. So if I can find a decent game, I may. But growing up, I never really played him. I was never really interested in him. When I played him, I was never good at him. I'd get bored like really quick. So if I can find a PS5, which good luck. God forbid, man. God forbid they make as many PlayStations as people want to buy them. If they start doing that, maybe I'll play a non-sports game. All right, a little NBA talk. Next question is, what NBA trade do you want to see? What trade would you hate to see? And what one would be the most surprising? The one that I want to see, it involves the Hawks and the Warriors, because I know the Hawks are trying to like compete this year, and the Warriors are trying to turn that pick into something that can help them now and later. And I just feel like they're between like John Collins and the number 6 pick, there's enough to get up to number 2. You could get a couple like Damian Lee, who like the end of the Hawks bench last year was like wretched. Damian Lee would be an upgrade. They would have the number 2 pick to get whoever falls. If Edwards is there, if LaMelo's there, I don't think it'd be Wiseman. So I just feel like there's something there. And Collins would come in. I think he could help Golden State now and also in the future. He's young enough. I think Draymond masks his weaknesses. defensively, and he can hit the boards and space. Maybe Golden State has to get like Golden State still has the Minnesota pick. Like I think they could. There's something centered around that. So that's one I think I'd like to see, because I want the Warriors to like do something with that pick, but I also don't want them to. Like I would think it'd be very cool if they still end up with a trade down to 6 or 8, and we get to see one of these guys just develop with the Warriors, while they get also Collins or something else. And on the Hawks end, the Hawks, I feel like they're looking at like they have 2 spots filled. They have Trae Young, they have Clint Capella. They just traded for him. I imagine they're not ready to, write it in stone yet, but they didn't acquire him for nothing. And for the 3 remaining spots, they have to pick between John Collins, DeAndre Hunter, Kevin Huerter, Cameron Reddish, and this number 6 pick they have to pick between 3 of those. So it'll be like it's good to have depth there for sure, but with like Hunter, Huerter, Reddish, and Collins, really, I feel like all those guys are at a point where it's like they need as many reps as possible. Like Cam Reddish was really putting it together at the end of last year. Huerter had some good games after he got healthy. So I feel like there's something there. The trade I would hate to see, probably Bradley Beal going to Brooklyn. For one, I really want to see this version of him with whatever version of John Wall comes back. I think it's going to be entertaining. And 2, like as nice as Bradley Beal is, and offensively that would be a lot of fun, I feel like he needs the ball too. I just think their 3rd star has to be somebody that either defends, rebounds, can contribute without the ball. Because Kyrie and Beal feels like some overlap. And defensively, I don't know how you're getting away with both those guys. If that's your backcourt and KD off the Achilles is one other defender, you got to have 2 all-NBA defenders around those guys. So I don't really want to see that one. Most surprising would... I feel like I saw it or heard it last week and then again this week, something about Blake Griffin and the Pistons, I think number 7 pick to the Warriors for like number 2 in Wiggins, which that kind of just feels awful for both teams to me. Like the Warriors want somebody who can help them now and later. Blake is older, injured, and he might not be healthy this year, so he's not helping you later or now. And if I'm Detroit, I'm not taking back Andrew Wiggins. Not for Anthony Edwards or LaMelo, but like whoever it's projected to get me in this draft. No. No. That would probably be the most surprising for me. Next question. Moved to a new city, had to break up with my barber. What's the hardest non-romantic breakup you've ever gone through? Also, do you know of any good barbers in Atlanta? I had one in February. It's the last time I've been, man. Depending on what part of town you in. If you were in, like, north of the city. I hope my dog's still alive. If he's still alive, I could put you on. But it's one of those, if you own, like, a different part of the city in Atlanta, man, I'd be better off giving you a barber in Florida. Be closer than getting to north of the city. But the toughest non-romantic breakup I ever had was I had an old therapist. And I was able to see her through the insurance at an old job I had. And I think that was a time when I started taking my mental health seriously. I was like, something's not right. Like, I'm not saying it can be fixed, but I know what's not working, which is what I was doing at the time. So, yeah, she was my, I guess, counselor, therapist, whatever, and it felt like she just would not quit on me. Like, she got me to start taking, like, my medication, like, regularly, like, prescriptions, staying on top of that, like, making appointments and keeping them, staying on top of that. So she really set a foundation that I think I didn't know it at the time that I needed, because I later lost that insurance, and I lost the job. The insurance went with the job, but I still, to the extent that I could, I was still trying to do some of the things that she taught me, and I still try to do some of those things. So that was probably the toughest non-romantic breakup. Next question. What's this week's top 5 Chappelle Show sketches? I'm really glad you said this week, because it really does change. But I was watching some Chappelle the other day in the Discord, man. What a show. So my top 5 this week, in order. 1, Tupac's still alive. Like the way before Dave Chappelle had 2 kids. I wrote this song in 94. That's number 1 right now. Number 2, Real Moments in Hookup History with Smashley Evans. Number 3, Arsenio Hall at the wine and cheese party. He'd probably get mad if you don't tell him how good the cheese is. 4, Mandela's boot camp. You think Mandela doesn't know what this is? And number 5, it pains me to laugh at it. The real side of Gary Coleman, when he was the security guard and they had the little kid playing him windmill fighting, takes me out every single time. Every single time. So those are the top 5 for today, subject to change tomorrow. Next question is from Grum. Grum says, you said a couple times in a semi-joking manner that you just want Kanye, Wayne, etc. to pass away so you can enjoy their music again. Is there a period of time in your mind after they eventually pass and you're able to enjoy their music again? Or is it the instant the alert hits, you're playing the Carter 3 in graduation without hesitation? The second I find out, Grum. The second that I find out, not even that you die, but that I find out that me streaming your music doesn't directly benefit you, I'm in. Like Marvin Gaye, one of my favorite artists. Marvin Gaye had a wild, wild past, man. But he died before I was born. You know what I'm saying? What I'm supposed to do? If I run the hits, who gonna get the money? His family? I'm fine with that. The record label? Hey, you know what I'm saying? If I get to listen to it, somebody getting paid, I'm fine with that too. Like I recently heard, because R. Kelly's in jail, that any streaming money he would get is going to pay back child support. I don't know if I can find that it's true, I might be back in there too. Because if it's going to money he should have been paid, sure, I don't have no problem with that. Run the hits. But if I can't verify, probably not. But as soon as I get that notification, firing up the Apple Music. Next question comes from Whack Human Being. Whack says, incidentally, after last week's Dirty Mackin talk with Bills, I think I may have stumbled upon the foulest song dedicated to Dirty Mackin in the history of recorded music. I've transcribed the lyrics as I think it might be a fun Trilly read-along. Take a listen and see if you agree. The original recording was by Bobby Blue Bland, but this recording is by the guy who wrote the song, Jimmy Lewis. Presume he's the rascal who penned these lyrics. So I have not heard this song. I'm going to look along with the lyrics, and we're going to see if this is the dirtiest of the Dirty Mackin.
Let me tell you where I'm coming from, so you'll know where I'm going. I don't want you to say you didn't know what I was doing.
Uh-oh.
She's your woman.
Uh-oh.
And you're my friend. You know that. But I love her too. So may the best man win.
Wait a minute.
I'm telling you face to face, that I intend to take your place.
That's some cold shit, man. From a friend?
Friendship is one thing.
Yeah.
Love is another.
Completely different.
The way I feel about her would be the same if you were my brother.
This nigga's 30.
Do you know the things that love will make a man do? I want your woman.
Nah. Pick
So
one,
I
nigga.
thought I'd lay it on you, face to face. I intend to take your place. Lord have mercy. She had the patience, but you didn't have the time. Oh Lord, you blew your chance, but I'm not blowing mine. You've been mistreating that woman, and you've done her so wrong. Then you start half loving her, and now she's gone.
He should have led with
The
this.
postman was trying, the milkman too. She used to call me all times of night, looking for you. And through conversation, we found we had a lot in common.
Yeah, I bet.
Oh Lord, I may be losing a friend, but I'm gaining a woman. And I'm not gonna backstab you.
So why?
You know that.
I'm gonna front stab you.
Sun goes down, I want you to be around.
Nah.
You don't love her, and you don't need her. It seems like everybody wants you.
Now listen. You don't want her, you don't need her. Okay, stay out of my private affairs. Nigga. You need to mind your business. Good Lord, Wack. That was devastatingly filthy behavior there. Some of the dirtiest Mackin. But I will say this. There's something commendable. He's like, hey, man. Like, I know you're my dog and all that. But you ain't treating her right. Like, he told him face to face, man. But I don't think that's the dirtiest Mackin song ever, Wack. I don't. So I see your I intend to take your place. And I raise you from the dirtiest Mac that ever Macked. Bobby Womack. You know it's filthy when you gotta lead up to the dirty Mackin with an instrumental.
I'm the best friend he's got. I'd give him the shirt off my back. He knows he can trust me with his life. But each time he leaves me alone with his wife. I wish he didn't trust me so much.
Bro, this is the dirtiest Mackin.
I think he really trusts me too much.
Look.
How can he be so blind?
Come on.
We both got the same good taste. He should know when he's gone on his business trips. I can't help watching this woman without losing my grip.
Come on. What?
She didn't trust me so much.
Bobby said he loses his grip.
I think he really trusts me too much. No, I swear, oh, it's not my will. But there's a way she make me feel. Lord, I'm scared, so scared of what I do. If she starts feeling the same way too, we got a problem.
You, nigga. You the problem, Bobby.
It's not that she leads me on.
You just a creep.
I'm getting there all by myself, but just being with her all alone. I can't help but hoping that he never comes home.
Oh.
He didn't trust me so much.
I said, I hope he never come home, man.
He really trusts me too
I want him so bad, I hope he die.
I wish he didn't trust me so much.
Don't
Got a
harmonize it.
problem. I think you really trust me too much. Though I swear, oh, it's not my will, but it's something about the way she makes me feel. Lord, I'm so scared of what I do.
Oh, boy.
If she starts feeling the same way too.
He not scared. He know exactly what he do. I think he really trusts me too much.
I got a problem. You can see I'm caught up in the middle. And I'm tired of playing second fiddle.
So, listen, Wack, I think that one takes the cake. He said, I'm tired of being caught in the middle. You not in the middle. We're in love. You are infringing upon our American rights. Bobby said, how could he be so blind, man? He couldn't believe how dumb his friend was. He said, man, he's an idiot. He don't know I want to clap them cheeks. I really think he trusts me too much. Why? Why would a good friend of mine? He said, I'm the best friend he's got. I'm the best. That's why he trusts you. Robert, I'm getting upset. That boy Womack, again, he was Sam Cooke was Bobby Womack's mentor. When Sam Cooke died or got killed, Bobby Womack showed up to Sam Cooke's funeral with Sam Cooke's wife in Sam Cooke's suit out of his closet. And allegedly Sam Cooke's brothers took him outside and either whooped him or threatened to whoop him. They was like, listen, just leave town now, dog. And Womack was like, okay, yeah, all right. So this, he's walking the talk is what I'm saying. I don't know if Jimmy Lewis or Blue Bland. I believe they're dirty Mackers. I don't want to doubt either one of them gentlemen. But I know Womack, man, said he might lose his grip. Oh, come on, man. So I think that's the dirtiest of the Mackin. Next question. Another music one comes from TMT Mac. Says, create the perfect musical artist using 5 attributes from 5 different artists. The 5 attributes are 1, singing or rapping. And he put, yes, we know Future has both. Just so y'all clear. 2, sportsmanship / how the artist performs. 3, what their sound is, like what type of music is your artist making. 4, one instrument for them to excel in. For example, plays guitar like Jimi Hendrix. You can also choose production skills, i.e. like Metro Boomin or somebody. And 5, finally, their cool factor. Not much to explain for this one. All right, TMT Mac. First, I choose rapping ability over singing ability. But I'm picking Andre 3000 because I know he can do a little of both. So I've got 3000's rapping ability. Showmanship. Give me Young Thug. Give me Young Thug. Great energy. I've seen him live. He does a good concert. And he's just liable to say or do anything at all. That's what you want in showmanship. People can't take their eyes off you. And when Young Thug is on stage, you're watching him. 3, the sound. Southern. Like, come on, of course. What do you mean? Of course. but not the typical ones. Like it's time for like an underrepresented part of the South. Like he got to be from like Montgomery, Alabama, like Columbus, Georgia, Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. Like he got to be random Southern. So that's 3. 4. Yeah, I choose either Metro Boomin or Southside. I'll go Metro. Because again, little rap, little singy. I need some of both. Metro been in a sample bag lately. I feel like particularly heavy lately. So give me that. And the cool factor, I was down to 2 people, man. And I'm leaning towards one. So I'll say the runner-up first. The runner-up for the cool factor is 2 Chainz. Which means that the coolest factor of the cool factor rappers is Young Dolph. My guy's gonna be as cool as Young Dolph. What a guy. Just get shot at 100 times and just, what can you do? You know what I mean? But no, Dolph is very cool. It was really down to the wire between he and 2 Chainz. And the tiebreaker was, did you get shot at 100 times? Live to tell about it and make an album trolling the people who shot at you 100 times. 2 Chainz, the answer was no. For Dolph, the answer was yes. So that's my dream artist. TMT Mac, Andre 3000's rapping, Young Thug showmanship, Southern sound, Metro producing, the Young Dolph's cool factor. He going diamond. Next question from JTR. It says, with the reports of Chris Paul being traded to Phoenix, or I guess rumor being traded to Phoenix, it's got me thinking about Oklahoma City's situation. In addition to what they might get in this trade, they have a lot of draft picks from the Clippers and Rockets. Shea looks like a star. Lou Dort looks like a solid piece. What would your approach be with the Thunder if you were running the team? If I was running the team, one, I wouldn't have hired whoever they hired. Like, I'm sure he's fine. He'll probably be fine, but that wouldn't have been my choice. But I do agree on selling high on Chris Paul. He's coming off second team All-NBA season, 2 years of that contract left. I would sell high. And the rumored deal that I've seen is Ricky Rubio, Kelly Oubre, and a pick. I'm not sure if it's the 10th pick this year or like a future first for Chris Paul. And I would do that. I would do that deal, especially if it was number 10. If you get either one of those picks, like 2021 is supposed to be a better draft. But even in this pick, a top 10 pick's a top 10 pick. So I would do that. And if not there, I would go to different teams. Milwaukee, like some combo of like Bledsoe. I think Bledsoe, Hill, and Wilson. George Hill, DJ Wilson. And a pick or 2. You could maybe get Tobias Harris from Philly, where like if he's in Oklahoma City, they don't really care how much they pay him. Like nobody gonna sign there anyway. Or Al Horford, Josh Richardson. Just let Al Horford try to do what Chris Paul just did. Be the old vet, rehab your image. If I could get Chris Paul to the Knicks, like just give me 2 future Knicks picks, and I'd take anybody back that they have. I just want the future Knicks picks. You know you're walking into at least a top 7 pick, minimum. To the Clippers for like Beverly, Lou Will, Zubac, Landry Shamet, future pick, whatever, 2 of those 3, 3 of those 5 or whatever. But I would move high on them. I would sell high on them. 2, second thing I would do, I think you have to decide how serious you are about trading up in this particular draft. Because it's rumors going out now that that Oklahoma City is serious about trading up to get LaMelo, number 1. Which I'm not sure how much it would take, honestly. And I heard, I wish I could give credit. I think it was probably Zach Lowe, but we're talking about Shea. I like Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Love him. I would not do this deal. But there is a section of people who think it's like, okay, Shea, he projects to be pretty good. He'll make a couple all-star teams. If you're in on LaMelo Ball, he's projecting to be the guy. So, and if you're Minnesota, if you trade number 1 for Shea, maybe straight up, because Shea's still cheap, or if they can get that number 10 pick, you put that in there. So the Timberwolves get Shea and a top 10 pick. Oklahoma City gets who they think is the guy. And just go from there. Now, I, again, personally would not. I probably, if I could get to 10 from the Suns, I don't think I'd trade up at all, honestly. As is, I think they're 25th. I could see, I don't hate trading up there if a guy you like falls, but if I could get to 10, I think I'd just stay at 10 and wait to see who fell. But I would trade Steven Adams, though. I think, I'm not sure how robust the market is for a big man. Like, I think he makes $25 million. It is an expiring contract, but for Gordon Hayward straight up, that works. For Nick Batum and something, Miles Bridges or Devontae Graham, if they don't want to pay him something, or Sacramento, Adams and a pick for like Buddy Hield. Just get him out of there. Get Buddy Hield back to Oklahoma, where he played college. 4, they just need more NBA just wing players. Like, who doesn't? Everybody needs them, but they need it real bad. Like, they have athletes like Lou Dort, Hammy Diallo, Terrence Ferguson, who cannot shoot at all. They have like no wings that can do both. And it's hard to find those guys, but they don't have any of the shooting type, it feels like. So, in the draft, whatever, that's why I'd hope to stay at 10. Get like Devin Vassell, Aaron Nesmith, somebody that can help us shooting immediately. Next thing, the West is going to be really tough, so probably wouldn't even take much tanking. If Gallinari leaves, if you trade Steven Adams, you trade Chris Paul. 2021 is supposed to be the draft with the stars. So you already have an extra pick from the Paul George trade. You're going to have your own pick. And who knows what you get from these deals. I think you could probably sign and trade Gallinari. He'd probably be willing to do that. Maybe get higher raise that only the Thunder can provide. Trade him. You get a couple picks back or something. And then from there, next year, you just go with Shea, with Darius Bazley, with Lou Dort, with the pieces you got traded for. Like, again, Tobias Harris would be ideal to me. Like, he's young enough, he's good enough, he's already signed. It's a lot of money, but again, 1 year that contract's down, and if Tobias Harris went to the Thunder, say he was a free agent this summer, it was like, would you sign me for 4 years, whatever it is, just 1 year knocked off that contract? I think they would sign him. Like, you're willing to sign here and you'll be here for the next 4, I think they would sign him. So, yeah, build around those guys. They have shown to be good at development, to their credit. So if they stay at 25, a guy like Trey Jones, one of the Washington guys, Isaiah Stewart, Jaden McDaniels, one of the Duke guys, Cassius Stanley or Vernon Carey. Might be a little high for them there, but unless you have an early second-round pick, you might not be able to get them. I feel like 2021, this next year, it's the year you want your coach to just get his feet wet. Like, that's it. This new coach just learns. You get to see what you have. Because after next year, some of the assets start rolling in. All right, like if they trade Chris Paul, Adams, and then Schroeder, after next season, they expire whether they keep them or not. Those contracts expire. So that's cap space. The thing is, like I said, nobody's signing unrestricted free agency in Oklahoma City. But, and this would be my play if I'm Oklahoma City, they can make a huge play next season in restricted free agency. Like 2021, after this upcoming season, The unrestricted free agents are like LeBron, Kawhi, Blake Griffin, Paul George, Gordon Hayward, Drew Holiday, Giannis, Rudy Gobert, Victor Oladipo. So you probably can't get any of those guys unless you're throwing like way too much money. But restricted free agency, it gets interesting. Because there are a lot of guys, that's a really good class, restricted free agency wise. And a lot of those guys, it's going to be interesting to see the contracts that they get. That was the Markelle Fultz, Tatum, like that draft. And there are a lot of guys that are unsigned from that draft. Still, they'll probably start to get signed. And a couple of those guys like Bam Adebayo, Jason Tatum, Donovan Mitchell, those three in that draft, they're getting the max, like from their team. That's settled. No discussion. Then you got De'Aaron Fox, you got John Collins, you got Jonathan Isaac as guys who I feel like would probably ask for the max. Maybe even to, deserve it if you want to keep them or, build some good faith. But Isaac's injury history is tricky. Collins, I just don't think they want to pay him long term. The moves they've made to me just signal that they don't intend on paying him what he is going to ask for. So, and yeah, De'Aaron Fox, you could get, you throw a big offer sheet. I don't know what the market will be for Jarrett Allen or Lonzo Ball, Kuzma, Lauri Markkanen. And there's still guys like Fultz, Dennis Smith Jr., Malik Monk, like the wild cards. You take a chance on a couple of those guys. OG Anunoby could be a free agent, like Monty Morris, Luke Kennard, Zach Collins, Josh Hart, Derek White. Like the point of you put an offer sheet out there that makes a team a little bit uncomfortable. Like if Toronto's trying to save money for Giannis and you just put a huge offer sheet out there for OG, they either have to match it, lose that cap space, or blow it and find it elsewhere. Like don't make it easy for them. So if I'm Oklahoma City, next year you're tanking, quote unquote tanking. You're just seeing what you got with the young guns. Trade what you can. If not, let Schroeder and Adams become expiring contracts. That's cap space you need. Trade Chris Paul. And it's like you could make a couple big plays in free agency. It's like we've got max cap space, but not for restricted or not for unrestricted free agents, for restricted free agents. Like we can sign two. Like we want to put De'Aaron Fox and John Collins. I'm just picking two from like the guys I don't think will get the max. It's like, yeah, what if we just agree to both pay them the max? It won't be time to pay Shea yet. And they'll still have more assets coming in. Like they'll have some flexibility. They can get 1-2 of those guys. So that would be my move if I was Oklahoma City. Next question is, what would your starting 5 of Thanksgiving side dishes be? Great question. This is, and we the 04 Pistons, man. Everybody is important here. 1, rolls. Love bread, love rolls. And my grandmother already put me at least a couple of them things away, man. She slide me a couple of them things walking out the door, and I'm walking out with just rolls in the trunk of my car like bricks of heroin. So rolls number 1. 2, this probably be a surprise. Mac and cheese, but it's got to be my uncle's mac and cheese. It's got to be like a certain mac and cheese. It's not too much cheese. It's not too much cheese. 3, yams. Sweet potato yams. Boy, was I late to the party on sweet potatoes, yams, all that. And boy, am I making up for lost time. So yams is in there. 4, gotta have something green. Give me green beans. My mother's green beans with a couple ham hocks and a half in there. And 5, it was tough. I was just trying to think of like what fits, right? The five best sides are these. This said starting 5, and this said starting 5. So I need everything to fit together. So my starting 5 are only sides. Number 5, hard-boiled eggs, man. What a delight. What a delight a hard-boiled egg is. A little bit of salt on your plate. I can see my plate now. I like Thanksgiving a lot. And it's canceled this year because you motherfuckers wouldn't wear a mask. Not you all and per se, but I'm just pointing outward at society. Next question. Now that Russ wants out of Houston, do you think the Rockets blow it up and trade Harden? What would Trilly GM do? The people are asking. Another question I got, I got a couple Westbrook Rockets questions, so I'll kind of answer these together. Second question was, with Westbrook wanting out of Houston, I've got two pressing questions. The first is, where do you like Westbrook going? He said he wanted to be a floor general again, and I don't know if that's good for any of the contenders. So, to answer the first question, I would blow it up. I would explore trading Harden. He's at a level where he'd have to, not even he, but his agent would work out the teams he want to go to, and you go from there. But I just don't see any move, like feasible move they can make that would have them contending for a championship next year. Like for a championship. Now, if he says he wants to stay, I keep him as long as he wants to stay. He's that level of star. But if he does want to leave, I think he's got 2 years left. You could get a good haul for him. But Russ is a little bit more difficult. The teams I thought of for Russ, Charlotte. I think it cost you like Nick Batum's salary and probably either one of Devontae Graham or Terry. And in Charlotte, I could see the appeal. Like, they've got some young pieces. They're like not really on anybody's map. I think Russ would put them on the map in the sense that he'll make an all-star team, especially in the East. He a Jordan guy, put him in Charlotte. He'll sell a couple jerseys. And they get the number 3 pick. Like, say they end up with Wiseman, right? If you're Charlotte, you're like, okay, we're ready to contend right now. It might not be true, but you put Russ and Wiseman on a poster outside the stadium. Second team, I say Detroit. Because, again, they have some young pieces. They don't have anybody to really push the pace. They don't have like a ball handler like that. Again, I think he could make an all-star team in the East, sell some tickets for a team that I think was like 30th, like dead last in attendance. I don't know what it would be. Russ for Blake, again, doesn't really help me. And if I'm running the Rockets, I'm not taking back Blake Griffin for Russ. I'd keep him before I take back Blake. I think Orlando's an option. Like, even if you like Fultz, it's time to pay him. He's on that draft class I mentioned from earlier. How much do you pay him? Versus the chance, like, they've made the 8 seed 2 straight years. They're a solid, 8 seed. You could add another all-star, all-NBA guy to that at point guard. That would just give them something they haven't had. And the fourth team, San Antonio. I don't know if he'd want to go there, but it'd kind of be the same reason that they took on LaMarcus Aldridge. Like, it doesn't really fit, but we're looking for all-star talent, and we can't be picky. So, for outside of a contender, it might be a wrap for Russ, man. Like, Harden was the best player on this Rockets team, but they were built around Russ, right? Like, Capella was moved for more spacing for Russ. They went super small for no spacing for Russ. And he played off of a first-team All-NBA guy and barely made it out the first round. Now, he was hurt, to his credit, but that is part of it. He's getting some... He's not a young man. He's getting some wear on the tires. So, was him getting hurt in the bubble or around playoff time, was that a fluke, or does he get back to business? Because, again, during the season, that guy was playing some of the best ball he's ever played. So if they're looking to get off him for that, and I think he's healthy, I wouldn't hate trading for Russ. I wouldn't hate it at all. I will say, if I was New York, if I was the Knicks, I don't think I would trade for Russ. Like, they need this year to be about RJ and Mitchell Robinson. I think you have to see what you have in RJ. And he's not going to do that with Russ on the court. And the second part, it was a 2-part question. The second part is, what does this mean for Houston and Harden? Do they ever make a finals now? Harden's legacy is creeping very close to McGrady Arenas AI status, where he got superstar level talent but could never make that final jump as the guy. It sounded like Harden wants to stay put. If I'm in charge, I'm not trading him until he asks. If he asks, then yeah, he asks politely. Gotta ask politely. Then you work with him and trade him somewhere. Like, it's worked out for the Pelicans. Got a good haul. The Thunder, we just talked about, got a good haul. And their markets were literally the teams they got traded to, and that's it. So you can get a nice jump on a rebuild trading him. But if he does want to stay, then I do look to keep him. And I got to say this about the second part of that question. He said, is he creeping close to McGrady Arenas AI status? Tracy McGrady never finished top 3 in the MVP. Like, never, not once. And he never made it out of the first round in a weaker conference. Gilbert Arenas had a 3-year run. His 3-year run was third team All-NBA, third team All-NBA, second team All-NBA. He made it past the first round once. And that was it. That was the run. James Harden has an MVP. He's finished top 3 5 times. He's made it past the first round 4 straight years. Like 2 conference finals since he got to Houston. And he's made first team All-NBA 6 of the last 7 years. McGrady made 7 All-NBA teams combined. Again, Arenas had them 3 in those 3 years. McGrady got 7 combined. Harden got 6 first team alone, and an assist title, and the scoring titles. He got more scoring titles than all of them combined, aside from AI. So far be it from me to defend James Harden, but he's already past the level of McGrady. He's already past the level of Arenas. He's been past Arenas. AI, better player, probably. I'll never admit it, though. I'll never admit it. So if he's just, MVP guy who couldn't or wasn't able to be the best guy on a title team, it's not bad company to be in, right? It's worse ways to go out. Like Steve Nash, Allen Iverson, Karl Malone, Giannis right now, Charles Barkley. Like, it's worse ways to go out. Guys that have an MVP but didn't get a ring or get one as the main guy. And also, like, Harden, he's creeping up on a lot of records. Like, he's at 21,000 points right now, and knock on wood, he's just wild durable. He just plays a lot of games. He's won 3 straight scoring titles. He's 36 all-time in points right now, 36. If he has just another average season next year, he's getting past, like, Drexler, past, I think, Wade, into that AI territory. That's 1 year. And a thing I wonder about with him as Harden ages, like, he came off the bench before. Would he be willing to go back to that? I mean, I think it's way down the road, but would he? He also seems to be, like, pretty well liked. Like, the guys in the league, like, they feel like they like James Harden. So he could team up somewhere and get a ring later on. That ain't no problem. Like, if he has another just regular year, he jumps into the top 10 all time for free throws made. Top 10. For 3-pointers made, he's number 5 all time right now. Number 5. And if he has, again, just another standard year, he could get to second or third, depending on how many games Steph plays. So I think he's got a lot of career left at 31. Because he plays, like, he's very physical. So if you want to say when the physicality goes, he can't get to the rim as easily. Okay, he getting to the line 6 times instead of 10. But also, like, an elite passer. A really good, again, 5th all-time in threes made. But he's not somebody I would think of as, like, a great shooter. But quantity, man. Quantity. However he decides this, it's also kind of a bet on himself. Because there are guys that weren't, they had the MVP and didn't win early, but ultimately did. Like David Robinson won later on in his career. Dirk won later on in his career. Kevin Garnett. And there's a lot of career left for Derrick Rose if he can stay healthy, Westbrook, and Harden. So it's all on what he wants to do. But going down is that it's not ideal, but it's a lot worse careers to have. Next question. This is another kind of two-parter. I'll tie these in together. One from L. Broads, who is the TMT schedule manager, as his username indicates. And other from Tuna. One says, how about some NBA draft talk? The other question was, with the draft coming up, do you see any surprise picks or trades happening leading up to or on the night of the draft? So I'll kind of cover those together. I don't, just from what I'm hearing, seeing, not even like private information, the Hawks are just hell bent on contending next year at kind of any cost. I've heard it's like, yeah, they would take on Gordon Hayward. Yeah, they're trying to get Drew Holiday. Yeah, they're trying to get from 6 to 1. Like they are trying to. It's almost time to pay Trey, right? Like he can start getting paid after next season. He might be like, listen, we're not getting any better. So I get it, and I don't hate the fit of Drew Holiday. He definitely do the defending that the trade doesn't, and that's just not his game. But are you paying that next deal for Drew Holiday? And again, you got Herter, Hunter, and Reddish. Like, whose place is he taking there? Those are younger guys more aligned with Trey's timeline. And also, is that a playoff team? Like, is that a playoff team? And then you're ready to commit another $150 million to Drew and give Trey like $140 million? That's your backcourt. So I've just got my eye on what the Hawks do. Also, the last two drafts, they traded down last year. No, excuse me. They traded up last year with New Orleans to get DeAndre Hunter. And the year before that, they traded down from 3 to 5, Luka Trey. So Travis Schlenk, the Hawks GM, makes trades draft night. I think he's going to make another one. I'm just not sure what. It might even be 2, but they're getting somebody. Let's see, it said surprise picks. The only surprise pick I have, it's just one of those. I'm only basing this off of one thing. Patrick Williams from Florida State. I'm not familiar with this game, I will admit. But he is a guy that I've just seen in the last week or two shooting up the rankings, and like nothing changed. I'm just always kind of leery of that guy. Like, you're shooting up the draft. It's like, what change did he measure? We found out he actually has an 8-foot wingspan. No, people just, you know what I'm saying, just talking, just talking themselves into picks. So he's interesting. I'm new to Poku. I don't even want to butcher his last name. Poku CA. I don't know, man. Don't make me read stuff, dude. I'm looking at Alexei Pokusevsky. He's right now Olympiakos. He is from Serbia. He's 7 foot tall, 7'3" wingspan. He weighs 200 pounds. He's real, like skinny as a rail. And my man Francis Adu, shout out to him, at Ben Thrifty on Twitter. He just does a lot of really good draft coverage and analysis. He was like, yo, check out this Poku kid. So I watched some tape, and I was like, okay, I see the vision. Because he be over. Now, they played the league he playing in look like the YMCA. But he does stuff you'd want to see. Like, we just be throwing behind the back passes, shooting 30-foot threes, just for the hell of it. And he is also 18. He would, like, if the season starts December 22nd, I think he'll still be 18 as of the season starting. So for like a long-term play, he's interesting to me. Also, a Precious Achua from Memphis. He was just, again, 20-year-old freshman. I'm always leery of. He was a 20-year-old freshman. Like, he's 21 now. So I'm also interested to see. I know the Celtics have 3 picks, and there's no way they're keeping all 3. What's the highest they could, like, could 14, I think 26 and 30. Like, what could they get you? Like 10? Not, if I was 10 and they offered me those 3 picks, I'd probably do it. Yeah, I'd do it for 3 picks. I probably would. So We'll see what they're going to do. Atlanta, if Atlanta can get off of Dwayne Dedmon's contract, which they may because now they have Capella coming back, I think they could make maybe 2 big moves. So we might see one of those, like the salary moves draft night, and then to set up another move, or the trade up move to set up another move. But I do think they're going to make big moves. I don't know if they'll be good moves, but big moves. And I'm interested to see, like, they've had so long to scout these guys. Like, I looked up Anthony Edwards. The last game he played was March 11th. Usually you get March Madness. The draft's at the end of June. You got 3 months. They got 8 months. Like, LaMelo hasn't played since November 30th last year. James Wiseman hadn't played since November 12th. A year ago yesterday. That was his last, like, sanctioned game. And that's, again, since they last played, that's not accounting what you already had, scouting them going into the season, during the season. But you couldn't do as many in-person interviews, so you couldn't get tricked by the nice guy who actually stinks, but he's just really nice and shakes your hand. So it's all what you see on the tape. It's all what the numbers say. And you've had time to watch the tape. You had time to crunch the numbers. So I'm just interested to see how teams are going to still mess this up. And the last question for today comes from Jonah. Jonah said, if you could make any 2 athletes trade sports with each other, which ones do you think would work? This is tough because a lot of them, it's one of those, a lot of people could hold, I think a lot of football players could hold their own, like the defensive end and stuff. Like, yeah, he's an undersized power forward. But when you flip it, yeah, I don't know if you're going to put Maurice Harkless at defensive end. So one that I think would work on both sides, Zion Williamson and Myles Garrett. I think they could legit switch. Like, Myles Garrett is 6'4". He's got a 6'11" wingspan, which I didn't know. He's 271. Like, small ball 4. He's perfect. He's got quick feet, but incredible strength and explosion, man. Him, your small ball 4, I feel like he's just bullying people. I feel like he'd get 117 rebounds a game. On the flip side, you got Zion at defensive end. You can make him a 3-4 end. Put him in the middle like Big Ted Washington. No, but I feel like him pass rushing, that'd be Zion on offense. Like, he's jumping, not even offsides. Like, he's jumping so fast they think it's offsides. Like, the way he jumped 3 times to get an offensive rebound before the other guy jumped twice. That's how he's up into the offensive lineman's chest as soon as the ball hiked. But I also feel like him on run defense might be like regular Zion on defense, like lost, kind of sluggish, not Myles Garrett-ish. But yeah, if Myles Garrett plays some power forward for the Pelicans this upcoming season, I think he'd average 6 points a game, 16 rebounds a game. And if you put Zion 16 seasons, 16 games. What am I thinking about? 16 games in Myles Garrett's shoes. I think he 8.5 sacks. You know what I'm saying? 9 tackles for loss. Like, he'd make Pro Bowl alternate. I think he'd be in that mix. But one thing I wanted to close with. This is something I feel like I post it or I see it every once in a while. And I always like to just read over it again myself. So I will take this chance to read it aloud. And it's a small section of a very good speech. It's called I Wish You Bad Luck by John Roberts. And John Roberts is the Chief Justice of the United States Supreme Court. He delivered this at his son's high school graduation in 2017. Again, I'll post the link to it. I would encourage listening or reading the entire speech, but there's one particular part that always sticks with me. It's the reason that I keep rereading it. Now, the commencement speakers will typically also wish you good luck and extend good wishes to you. I will not do that, and I'll tell you why. From time to time in the years to come, I hope you will be treated unfairly, so that you will come to know the value of justice. I hope that you will suffer betrayal, because that will teach you the importance of loyalty. Sorry to say, but I hope you will be lonely from time to time, so that you don't take friends for granted. I wish you bad luck, again, from time to time, so that you will be conscious of the role of chance in life and understand that your success is not completely deserved and that the failure of others is not completely deserved either. And when you lose, as you will from time to time, I hope every now and then your opponent will gloat over your failure. It is a way for you to understand the importance of sportsmanship. I hope you'll be ignored so you know the importance of listening to others, and I hope you have just enough pain to learn compassion. Whether I wish these things or not, they're going to happen, and whether you benefit from them or not will depend upon your ability to see the message in your misfortunes. And so the reason I wanted to read that, tying in with what I spoke about on the last fund report, so 2 weeks ago, there was a question asked about what I'd do if I won $10 billion. And I said something along the lines of setting up something to try to knock out either cash only bail or medical debt or student loan debt, something like that. And it just so happened right after that, I found out a friend of mine is doing something just like that. It just felt, I won't say weird, but the timing of it was very interesting because I found this out after I recorded a couple weeks ago. And I'll post the tweets and all that. The point is she's a partnership with a group called RIP Medical Debt. And I think you can choose where you want the money to go. And she's doing hers for Metro Atlanta. And for I mentioned it a couple weeks ago again, for every $1, it eliminates $100 of medical debt. Every $1 you give eliminates $100 of medical debt, which lets you know it's not about collecting on the money at all. So, something I kicked around, I think, in the fireside chat, and I'm going to try to do. I would like to make a contribution to this on the behalf of this server, this Patreon, whatever, the Discord, whatever you want to call it. So if you all are with this, and again, I'll post the link so you can read about it and check, verify. It's all legit, but if you want to check it yourself, by all means. And I would like, from a certain day or time, whatever money we could raise as a community, I will double that, and we will make that contribution to hopefully do some good, knock out some medical debt. So hopefully you're willing and able to participate in this. Again, even if it is literally $1. If it is, I'll find a way to get it all together so every dollar be accounted for. Every dollar will go to the RIP medical debt. But $1 can knock out $100 of medical debt for somebody. You know what I'm saying? So if you're so inclined, again, it does feel weird. Again, you're behind a paywall right now. I'm asking you to give more money. But if you are able to, I would ask that you consider sharing this, consider donating, or consider looking into, something is probably something like this similar in your city or close to your city. So maybe by, let's call it next Friday. By next Friday, if enough people agree, we'll put something together and hopefully we can donate to what I think is a good cause. So chew on that for a week, if you will. That will do it for this week. We're getting into November. Days getting shorter, man. Nights are getting longer. I know the seasonal stuff is starting to affect people. It happens. Don't fight it. Acknowledge it. It's part of the game. You'll get used to it. It happens. Right? Hopefully, maybe you can. I know I always try to use it as a way to try to make myself be more productive in the morning, because it feels like once the sun goes down, the day is done. It's like, oh boy, 3:30 and it's pitch black. Well, I'm all out of ideas. So hopefully we can all do that. Hopefully you're still wearing your mask. Hopefully you're still washing your hands. Hopefully you enjoyed this show. And we will catch you next time.